Okay, looks like we're online. Let's make sure we're on Twitch. All right. We'll give people a minute to log in. Okay. So, what are we doing? Well, I know last weekend we were working on not this. Slackbot. Yeah. We were working on this issue. So we're gonna take a little context switch. Oh, yeah, don't mind my jacket. It was literally snowing this morning, believe it or not, in Boston. And so I'm wearing my my thick winter coat to stay warm. So if I get too hot though, because I put the space heater on as well, so I'll probably be taking this off in a little bit. But it's very cold here. So we're actually switching gears, and we're gonna focus on finishing this PR. So oh, looks like people don't like the jacket. It's freezing in Boston. I'm not kidding. It was actually snowing today. Like, I went for a run in the snow just for fun. And it was weird, man. It's very weird. I don't ever remember it being this cold in May in my lifetime, even growing up here. So, yeah. But like I said, the space heater should be cranking in a bit, so we can take this off. I'm wearing if you can't tell, I'm also wearing like a sweatshirt underneath it. Okay. So, getting into coding now. Yeah, we're trying to finish this OrangoDB Oasis migration. So Oasis is OrangoDB's managed database solution. And they're using a clustered single shard cluster configuration, which is different than what we were using during development, which was just a single database instance. So we actually have to refactor a bunch of our streaming transactions to work in a cluster environment. And so that's the pull request I'm working on now. Shouldn't take too much long to fix or refactor these transactions. There's just a few of them. But we can go through this. It should only take about less than an hour. And then we'll take a break and switch back to the, what do you call it? The time range options PR. So let's just jump into it. Got my trusty pedal, so I don't have to move my fingers. So the big refactor here is the way we're actually constructing the edges in the transactions. So we can't use the old API, the vertex and edge collection API. We have to do it sort of like this. See? So it's very tedious, but it's basically a typing exercise at this point, but it must be done. So we're going to come in here and we're going to say, so this is literally just a typing exercise at this point. And then we'll spread the member edge in there. So we have to do the same thing for all these, unfortunately. Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Or what is it, Saturday? I don't even know what day it is, honestly. Oh, shit. Let's see, FP. And then, aha, there we go. Trying to get my Vim skills a little bit sharper. I feel like I mashed the mash the, what do you call it? I'm not being as efficient as I could be. So that's what I'm trying to do now. Let's get better at Vim. So let's come in here. And then we'll take, this is from, this is to, and then this can go here. We'll do the same thing for the thread member. So 1, 2, 3, from, to, like that. Ah, that's better. We're getting there. Oops. I'm still getting used to this pedal. At first I thought it was a bad idea, but now I realize it was a great idea. Because once you get used to it and you can map your mind to your foot, it saves a lot of wrist movement. So boom, save that. Nice, prettier. Okay, so we have the pod transaction. I think we have pod user group, just event thread and message to do. Let's just take this reference from here and then paste it here. So this is actually a really awesome thing. An event should only be created. Okay, leave that. Leave that. So yeah, we can't use this graph anymore. We have to use just the straight up DB. So let's just go ahead and say wherever we have graph dot, replace it with DB dot. And the vertex collection is now just collection. This is a very cool feature that they offer. Same thing with edges. Okay, so now we have to go through and update the same thing with our, let's save this first. Wherever we have a from and a to essentially, so here. So let's see, what can we do? We can do F comma, nice. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. From this to this. From this. It's a bit more verbose than I would like, but whatever. It's fine. From to, and then actually I can do this and then come here. To, oh, we missed this one. db.hashtags, first example. Save this. I think actually this is the same for create group. Let's just copy it from here. Where are we tagging? Create hashtags. Yeah, I have it to do in here to refactor this out of the transactions into a common. Yoink. For now, let's just do it like this. Oh yeah, because we have to do promise each. We can't use promise all. All right, we'll delete that. Wait, went too far. There we go. I need promise. Oh, this is new event as well. And I need a promise each. Thank you, Sindre, for creating all these awesome utils. Shout out to Sindre Sorhus, if that's how you say your name. Okay, I think that was it for the event transaction. Let's take a quick look. Yep. Transaction. So we have to do thread and message now. I think these are easier. Thread and message. Oh, let's take our documentation. I like to leave stuff like this in the code. Basically, they're just like URLs to the actual docs. Get rid of this. I'm not a big fan of comments in general. So let's get rid of the edge collection and the vertex collection, and then the graph. Oh crap, I messed that up. Oh, this is also messed up here. DB, save that. All right, so where are we generating edges? Here's one. So let's see, F comma. Oops. From to, come in here, add that, and then do dot dot dot. Oh, but you know what I should be doing? I realized. I should be putting the spreads after. I should be putting the spreads after the from and to. Actually, no, that's not true. I should not do that. Never mind. Okay, so let's come in here. From member to ID. Oh, but I can't use promise all either here. So let's grab our promise each again. Bring that into here. And then instead of this, promise each, and then members, and then this is like, how does this go? Like that. And then we can delete that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, I think we had one more, which is messages. Hey, Matt Duncan, welcome to the stream. Yeah, doing good, man. I'm actually back here in Drake with my parents for the whole COVID thing. Until this all blows over, which is probably going to be a while. So, all right, so we did this transaction. We have one more to do. The message transaction. This one's the simplest, luckily. So let's just copy over our reference. Get rid of the old ones. And then do F comma, DB. Oh yeah, same thing here. Replace graph with DB. And I think we only have two edge creations. So dot vertex collection, and we'll change that to just collection. And then also edge. Okay. And what else? Oh, okay, here we go. Spread the edge from here to here. And then same thing here. I can actually just do it like this. All right, that should be good. All right. Oh, I think I messed something up. Why is this blue? No, this matches. I think this is just VS Code messing up. I think it looks good. Okay, let's take a look at our changes here. So we refactored the create event. Yep, that looks good. Refactored create message. Refactored create pod. Yeah, I was doing the order doesn't matter, I guess, the from and the to. Those are internal OrangoDB keys on the document. Promise each, that's important. All right, so I think I can reset this. This was just I was testing something here. Do this bug fix spent like 30 minutes on it the other day. I was like, why can't I connect to the coordinator? I just had like the wrong number. Stuff like that drives me crazy. Stuff like this makes me hate software. Okay. What are we doing? We can get rid of this timeout as well. Leave it at a minute. Why not? And then I think this is good. Let me just take a quick pass. Promise each, promise each. They should all have, well, not that one. Most of them should have promise each. Is this one not using promise each? It's not. Promise each. Okay, what do you guys say we run the test suite? So this is why test-driven development is so important, because I just refactored like a huge amount of logic basically for almost all the entities. And how the hell would I ever know if I didn't break everything unless I had full test coverage? So let's reset the test and let's run it. I'd be shocked if this all works the first time. There's probably something else I forgot. But in general, I think this is correct. So again, we can't use the graph API anymore. We have to use just the straight up DB. And so we have to refactor all of our transactions accordingly. And transactions are really important in general. Like the whole ACID concept is like, when you say, for example, create an event to the database, well, we also have to create an edge from the user to the event, a created edge, to create like attribution for like who added this entity to the store. So, but if you can imagine, if we didn't use transactions, you would add the event document to the database, and then when you tried to create the created edge, that could possibly fail, and so then you would have a corrupt state in your database. So what a transaction let us do is sort of basically an all or nothing. So either all of these operations succeed, or none of them do, and this is very, very important in general for databases. But what ArangoDB allows you to do, which is really cool, is this concept of like streaming transactions. So you don't have to just send the whole transaction to the database at once. You can like open up a transaction ID, and then over, I think it's like a minute or something, you can like do a bunch of operations and then commit the whole transaction. So this is really powerful when you think about things like cross-region failover in your data center. So you can like replicate the database across the world and keep it in sync. So there's not like a single source of truth or a single point of failure. And I think this is going to be really important, this concept, when we decentralize, or federate rather, the backend in the future, because we can't just have one big honeypot, one centralized store of all the data. We have to decentralize it into a bunch of other copies, and ArangoDB allows you to do this in a pretty cool way. We're getting way ahead of ourselves though. Oh, here we go. What happened? Can't exist. Oh, okay. So this is, I'm glad I wrote this. Yeah. Okay. So I know what's happening. I just wrote this, error, or this, collection cannot exist in both read and write key. So for one of these, which one is it? The event. Yeah. So if we go back into the create event mutation, this one, when you're actually executing the transaction, which is here, hashtags. Yeah, so you can't read and write. This is invalid, so I have to delete this read like that. And I think that should be good. Because write is basically a superset of read. Let's just go see if we did that for the other stuff too. So that would probably be in create message. Look at the transaction down here. Nope, we only have write collections, and then create thread here. Okay, we only have write there as well. What was the last one? I think it was create pod mutation here. Yep, just write as well. Okay, so hopefully the test will pass here. Okay, so yeah, I think this might be all we have to do to finish this PR. Maybe there's something else I'm missing, but I hope not. It was just these refactoring of the transactions. We were blocked on merging this for a couple weeks because there was a bug actually in ArengaDB, but they fixed it pretty quickly, which is awesome. They're a very responsive team, based out of Germany. German engineering, you know what I mean? All right. Are people even watching? Let's see if we have anyone on the stream. Yeah, we got a couple people. All right, so man, this is kind of boring. I just have to wait for the test to pass. All right, looks like the search event query is working, so that's a really good sign because this one's pretty complicated. So if these are all passing, there's a good chance I didn't break anything. But the full test suite takes like 20 minutes to run, so I don't know. I should probably just commit to and just push to the CI and then hope that it just works. That's probably a more efficient use of time. And I can fix it if something breaks. Okay, that was a bug fix. That's a bug fix. All right, so let's see. What is this? Async stack traces. Oh yeah, I should commit that as well. All right, so let's call this refactor all DB transactions to use for clustered deployment. That's a good description. Yeah, because before, like I said, the stuff we were doing here where it's just like vertex collection.save, that worked only in single server mode, which was fine for development. But now that we're pushing to like an actual production environment, we have to support clustered. And basically what this means is there's 3 physical servers that all have copies of the data. So if one server, for whatever reason, fails, like in Amazon's web data center, the site still stays up. So this is very important. Refactor all DB transfer. Okay, so let's commit that. Let's make sure the tests are still passing. Oh yeah, create pod. This is the big one. Like if all these pass, then I feel very confident in pushing, because this is like the meat and potatoes of the whole freaking backend. It takes also the longest to run, I think. So I'm just gonna wait for this to pass, and then commit and push, and then I mean I've only been streaming for a half an hour, but I might take a quick little break, get a snack, come back, and then we can switch back to the time range options, because this is an exciting feature. I actually saw something this morning. I think it was on Product Hunt. It's super cool that we can integrate with, or not integrate, but just like add to one of our event templates. Where is it? Event templates. Here. So I think it's called meetuponline.com. I had an idea to build something like this, so I'm glad someone actually did it. But we do like happy hours at my full-time job every week or so, and it's kind of chaotic because there's like 30 or 50 people, right, in one Zoom session. So what they let you do, like if this looks familiar to you, right, which sometimes works in a weird way, but it's kind of awkward if like someone's trying to talk and they talk over each other. So what it lets you do is like you're all in the same Zoom call, but you can like jump into these subgroups in the Zoom session and have like side conversations. So I'm very curious to see how they pull this off in terms of the UX. So I can't wait to try it out. I think this just launched today, but this would be awesome for virtual events. And it kind of dovetails nicely into our feature that we're writing, because our feature becomes more and more valuable the more people that you're trying to schedule a time with. Like if you're just trying to meet up with 2 people, then you don't really need that feature. You can just like say, hey, let's do Friday at 6. But if there's like more than 6 people that you're trying to coordinate a time with, like that's why really doodle.com exists, right? So this is an interesting complementary feature. I can't wait to play with. All right, things look like they're passing, so let's just push. We'll get lucky and it'll all build on the first try. You know, maybe the CI gods are shining upon us today, smiling upon us. Commit this. Fix docker compose config. All right. I think I actually have to add my SSH key. 1 second. Yeah, skip this. Yeah, shit seems to be working. Skip. GitHub. All right. Push that up. This was a long time coming. This is like a long-lived And it's kind of blocking everyone else's work. Alright, there it goes. Let's make sure the build succeeds. See all these failures. Very sad. Boom. Okay, so hopefully this goes through and we can merge that branch. Let's just do a quick code review because it's been a while. Let's refresh this. Yeah, 1,200 lines. Jesus, this is a pretty big refactor. I don't like 1,200 and minus 700. This is like the worst case scenario. 63 files changed. Good lord. Okay, maybe I'll do this off stream. This is probably not very interesting to you guys. We're just basically upgrading from Arango 3.4 to 3.6.3, and then refactoring all of our transactions to work in clustered mode. Oh my gosh, this is such a this affects like all the back end. Yeah, I'll review this off stream. But what I like to do is like before I merge, I actually do a full code review. Because I might miss like a typo or something or a console log. All right. Maybe should I keep letting these tests go through? Why not? All right, I'm gonna jump off the stream and jump back on in a little bit once these tests go through, and then we'll pick up where we left off on the time range feature. Okay. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.